Speech and swallowing. All right, speech and swallowing. Okay. If you have Parkinson's disease, your speech is going to be affected somewhere along the way. Why? Okay. Let's talk about your disease. You know that this disease now affects every muscle in your body, all right? If you look at every single symptom that you have with Parkinson's, it's all muscle related, one way or the other. Right? So for us to speak, you know, what is the tongue? Muscle. What is this going up and down? What is the ability to swallow? A muscle, right? What is the ability to project the volume from the chest? You know, you speak from here. You can move your mouth all you want, but if you're not pumping breath sounds from down here, what's going to come out? Nothing. Okay? So if you have Parkinson's disease, you need to be taking advantage of all of the voice programs and the breathing programs that we're offering you here. Because you might be great today, but what's the theory that I always like to encourage you? Stay up here, stay strong. It's a lot better if you're doing well with your speech and your swallowing. Okay, you say, Mara, I don't need it. You do need it. You have Parkinson's disease. Okay, so I want to keep you strong. I want to keep you talking. I want you to keep me articulate. Okay, get your feelings out, communicate. So it's better for me to keep you strong up here by utilizing now 4 programs, because Ageless Grace also does the I Hear You Screaming from back in here with Ageless Grace. All right, Larry was called the police one day. He thought somebody was being assassinated. He was like, what is it? And he doesn't come to my office on certain days now because between the drummer and the screaming, you know, I like it there because it's home to me. Yeah, I get my greatest inspiration with the noise coming out of the scream. Okay, so now you have 4 programs now that are going to help you with keeping the voice strong so that you can keep talking. I say, you know, keep talking when no one wants to listen. What does that mean? And why is it important? Keep talking when no one wants to listen.
It's easier to keep it than to lose it and get it back.
Well, yeah, and with regards to the physical ability of speech and articulation, like Peter said, it's easier to keep it than to lose it and then have to fight and work twice as hard to get it back.
Yes,
all right?
that's right.
So the clinical ability to speak is huge. All right? You all have the cognition to create the sentence, to create the thought process, but you have to have the clinical physical ability to speak. Now, why is speech so important? Communication. All right? Why is communication so critical? To stay connected. That's a real good answer, fellas. To stay connected. So you use the word talk. Talk is nothing more than what I'm doing to you right now. Right? I'm talking to you. I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Right? I can do a 3-day CME program. I just talk. 24 hours a day, he talks. Okay, but talking is just words. All right, there's a big difference between talking and communication. All right, all right. So a lot of the things that you talk about are meaningless. They don't matter.
Right.
All right, but some things really do matter, like feelings and wants and needs and concerns, and the need to stay connected to your loved one, to your caregiver. Okay, so you have to have the ability to communicate. So what does the word communicate mean?
Speak.
Get across an idea.
Yeah, you basically get across an idea. You get, for me, if I'm communicating with you, I get what's inside of mine to inside of you. Clearly understood. With the information, the feeling, the meaning, and all of it. And that's tough. You hear me? That is tough. And in Parkinson's disease, it's a lot easier to stay silent. Isn't it?
Yes.
It's a lot easier for a lot of people to stay silent. Now, what is the greatest enemy of any relationship?
Non-verbal.
Simple word.
Communication.
Silence.
Yes.
Silence. all right? Because guess what? You cannot read somebody else's mind. You can think you can, but you can't.
That's what I told him all the time.
All right, now leave Jerry alone. No husband picking. You cannot read somebody else's mind. You don't even think you can do it. You're insulting yourself. All right? The only way that I know what Katie or Naomi or Barry is thinking is if he tells me. And so many people make the big problem of perceiving what the other person wants or needs or is thinking, because I've been married to him 65 years. You know everything about it. Right? I hear it all the time. He don't have to talk to me. I know him. You don't know him. You might know him, but you don't know what he's thinking. Okay? So you have to utilize assertive communication. You have to be very careful with this disease because of the apathy. We all know apathy is a big piece of it. It's easier to be belly up on the recliner with the clicker than it is to be in here dancing with Miss Lance. Got it? It's easier to be hanging out with the gray shabby bathrobe. There goes my eval survey. Who has a gray shabby bathrobe? Oh! You would be the last person I would expect. Throw it out. You go right now. Nancy said, you buy her purple or hot pink today. She's got a blue one too?
Oh, it's yours.
It's like my blanket.
Even worse. Her blanket. Okay. What do I mean by don't schlep around? You know what schlep?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Philadelphia kicks in. Don't schlep in my gray, shabby bathroom. Why? Because that means that you're what? You're down, you're zombie, and I'll do a little this, I'll do a little that, but I'll finish, who cares? It's a disposition of apathy. That's what I mean when I say if you have a gray, shabby bathrobe, lose it. Donate it, do not put it on. Why? Because you get up, you get dressed, you have a rhyme, you have a reason, you have a routine. And you should see the look. Where is she wearing this thing? Peter says, and you should see the looks.
Well, the people that see her in the restaurant with it.
Her blanket or her bathrobe? It's no wonder I can't keep on trying. Okay. The point being that it's very easy to take the easier way because it takes you so much energy to do everything. It's taking you twice as much energy as someone that doesn't have Parkinson's. Okay? It's taking you burning twice as many carbs to do it. So it's easier for you to say, oh, it's hard. It's going to take me twice as long and twice as more effort, and it's so much easier if I don't do it, so I don't think I'll do it. You got to fight this. You got to fight the thing of apathy because that'll lead you into depression and sadness. All right? So I want you up with no excuses. Up and dressed and in a routine. You got me? How many of you are doing it? What, the Jerry's out of the dog? Okay, try this, okay? Don't zombie through life, have a rhyme and a reason for the day. Now with communication, it takes energy. Why? Because communication, you gotta think about a thought process. You gotta think about what's on my mind. Now these are things that matter. These are things that if something's going on that, is weighing on your mind, or something that you need to discuss with your loved one, it needs to come up and come out. For my caregivers, you have to understand that a lot of the feelings, a lot of the thoughts can be suppressed. Caregivers tend to suppress, pack it all down, because it's easier not to rock the boat, right? You don't want to negate anything. You just want to keep it nice and calm. Big mistake, because one day you're going to blow sky high. Right? And you don't want to do that. You want to let it out a little bit at a time. So you want to have a nice, pleasant, respectful, dignified conversation. So, we want to talk about assertive communication. What is assertive communication? I'm going to get what's in here, there. Okay, so I get something on my mind, and I want you to get it. Now, there's a difference between assertive communication and passive aggression. All right, ooh, we gotta watch that one. Whoa. All right.
Sounds like.
When you do assertive communication, you ask a question, you open it up, so that the person that you're trying to communicate will have to think and respond to you in a way that demands more than a one-word answer. All right? Now, example given. Pete's not looking so good to me. All right?
Oh, thank
He's
you.
not acting right, whatever, right? So if I go up to Pete and I said, Pete, how you doing today? What's he going to say?
Okay.
Fine. Where's the conversation?
Gone.
Done. This is why you know you should go to a doctor's office. They're hurting you through. How you doing today, Naomi? How you feeling? Fine. Done.
He doesn't do that, he says you're beautiful.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. That makes you feel good. But the average job, they will do that. They will not open up a dialogue with you that's going to take 20 minutes of their time. All right? But if I say to Pete, Pete, you know what? I watched you for 2 days, and you know, you seem a little bit down. You seem a little bit quiet. All right? That would be my first clue. Why don't you tell me, Pete, what's on your mind? I'd like to sit down and listen to you. What did I do? I opened the door. I told him I noticed. I told him I was concerned. I told him he mattered because I was willing to stop what I was doing and sit down to listen to him yet again. Right? I do it, and I try to do it every time in the house. If somebody comes to me with something, I try to put you first. Sometimes it's tough because I'm hammered to my head with deadlines, but I try to do my best. And if ever I make you feel rushed, you need to tell me, all right? Because that's not my role here. But he has at times to say, Marilyn, you know, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about this happened, da, 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 da. So it's communicating, all right? He's getting into matter what's on his mind, all right? As opposed to passive-aggressive conversation, all right? It's terrible. Passive aggression is terrible. Example given of passive aggression communication, all right?
Isn't it nice weather today?
Now it would be like you go out to Nomi and Barry's daughter's restaurant for lunch.
It has also breakfast.
And breakfast. All right? And 4 people are at the table and 4 people get a grilled cheese sandwich. All right? And 3 of the grilled cheese sandwiches are perfect. And yours is burnt. All right? And the waitress comes up to me and says,
Special.
what would you like me to do? You know, what would you like me to take it back? You know, get you a new one, all right? I have 2 choices. I can either say, yeah, it's a little overdone for me. I'll wait for you to do another one, right? Which is the right way to respond, correct? Or I can say, here's your aggression. Don't worry about it. I'll eat it. I'm fine. And she goes away. And I say to my other 3 girlfriends, this is the worst restaurant I've ever been in my entire life. I hate her. I hate the food. I'm never coming back. You see the difference?
Big difference.
Who was in control? All right?
Would have been, but
So if you have something to say, you say it. All right? Don't hush up and then go behind the scenes and mouth off in a negative manner. It's destructive. It's destructive in any relationship in life. You clear with me? All right. So your needs to get your feelings up and out are critical. What are some of the things that you're feeling that you want to talk about? Because you have to understand with feelings, they're elusive. And most of the feelings associated with Parkinson's disease are not positive. Right? You know, it's easy. It's a cakewalk to say, I'm having the best day. I am so happy. You know, I'm getting off the day too. Rah, rah, rah. All right? It's not as easy for me to go out and say, you know what, I'm having an awful day. You know, I'm barely making it. I'm in trouble. I'm depressed. You blah, blah, blah. all right? So what are some of the feelings that you feel, patients and caregivers, living day by day with the huge, overwhelming challenges of Parkinson's disease? And I am here to tell you, of all the diseases out there, you have one of the most challenging, right? You might as well fess up to the fact that you are real soldiers, all right? And you're brave and you're courageous, all right? And you're standing up tall and you're doing it. Because this disease affects everything that makes you whole, right? Physically, take a look at the physical changes. Not so pretty, are they? Not so easy. The mental, cognition, memory,
Put the words together. Oh.
word finding, thought process, executive decisions, frontal lobe, tough, can be affected. Your emotions, you used to be a happy, positive, hopeful person, and you deal with this long enough, you know, and it can turn a positive into a negative very quickly. And social. Physical, mental, emotional, and social. They're the 4 components I feel that makes you whole. Socially, lots of times it's very tough because you can't do some of the things you used to do with the people that you used to do them with. Let it go. All right, that's why you have Parkinson's place. All right, so what are you feeling? How does it make you feel? What are some of the things that you think about?
Frustrated.
Number 1, bingo. I would like to do just one of these talks in the last 17 years that I didn't hear that word frustrated. Why are you frustrated? You can't do it. All right, sweet. She's out here and she looks at me sad and she goes, because you can't do it.
I can't write.
You can't write?
Can't write. Very
Mm-hmm.
frustrating.
You can't use a pen or a pencil, right? What might the solution be? A lot of times when you're trying to stand tall and stand up to something, and what I call overcome the overwhelming, right? That's what you're doing, because you're a champion. You're going to overcome the overwhelming. So what might be a solution if she wants to use a pen or a pencil for communication? What might be a solution? What do? You just, because, you know, we all have the micrographia, you know, how you start writing nice and pretty, and then all of a sudden, by the time you're done, you're down to the period. Done, right?
I thought everybody was a doctor.
Huh?
I thought everybody was a doctor.
I don't hear.
I thought everybody was a doctor.
You tell everybody you're a doctor. Not one of them can write. Good point. Not one of them can write. So you might want to consider, you know, communicating through the computer or the laptop or text or anything like that. There's also writing devices. There's pens that are made specially. I'll see if I can get them for you, that you hold them in a different way. You might want to choose to use the wide lined paper. And this is not at all childlike. This is a tool that will allow you to write. I know if you write me something, poetry or notes or anything else, I don't care what it's written on, right? So try with the lined paper. Try to, you know, really pay attention to your writing. Lots of times when you tire, it gets tough. All right, if you're tired, writing is going to be more difficult. But there's great communication through all the electronic gizmos out there. Take your pick, or you have all that in a laptop and a notebook and a computer and all that kind of thing. Texting sometimes can be difficult. You know, these I-5s, you know, I have to put on my glasses, sit still, you know, and I'm like...
Hit the microphone button and you can talk your text.
Oh, talk your text, that's a good one. See, Dusty, why don't you cue me with that one? Okay, yeah, there are things, you know, that you can talk your text.
Make sure you proofread it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm to the point, so I don't put anything in writing anymore. I am done with that. You know, you write it, you can't pull it back. The key is, you know, to try out all these different ways and find out what works for you. All right, and you know, phone conversations. I don't know about you folks, but I would still rather hear a voice than get an email.
Me too.
I maybe old and dated. But I think emails can lose so much because, you know, when you talk to somebody, you have the body language, you have the tone, you know, you have the smile, you have the whatever, you know, and that really leads into the text, you know? But if you just get something across the thing and it's out of the timeline, it's out of where it should be, and it's just words, you don't know the emotion behind that person, you don't know what their thought process is, you don't know anything. So a lot of trouble can come from a very cold, short, sweet text or email, all right? So open your mouth, once again, talk. Talk, yeah, Con?
Also, you need to be a good listener.
Oh, yeah, there's a good one. A good listener. How many of you are a good listener? You know, Connie raised your hand. Is that true, Phil? Yeah. Because guess what? Guess what? You cannot know someone. You cannot meet someone else's needs. You cannot help someone if you don't listen to them and hear what their needs are. You hear that? You know, 100 years ago, and I did a lot of classes for nurses, you know, I used to teach them, you need to be quiet and listen because you cannot meet the needs of someone that you're trying to care for unless you hush long enough to let them tell you what's going on. I call it get behind the eyes. You can't get behind the eyes. You can't know what's going on if you never shut your own mouth. And the bottom line is this. I figured this out. Why are we laughing, table number 4?
I was thinking all of the things he was thinking.
Oh, okay. Now I forgot. Now, see, I'm having all these senior moments. You have to stop sitting under my nose because I totally forget what I'm talking
You
about.
asked me a question.
Well, what did I ask? What did I ask?
I don't remember.
What did I ask? See, nobody listens to me. I'm going to give you that hoagie and that chocolate chip cookie and send you home. You don't listen to me. What did you say, Sylv? You gave me a cue to turn me, made me say something.
I said frustration.
Oh, that was 20 minutes ago.
That's what I said.
Stay current with me, Sylv.
Another thing you can do is buy somebody a card because the writing's already in there.
Yeah,
It's not-
there you go. There you go.
Or a mug or a t-shirt.
But the need to communicate, it's huge. The good and the bad, all right? Open up the channel of communication. If either one of you has something on your mind, you're going to reach to your caregiver, to your loved one first. And like I said, they can't read your mind. You need to cue them. Don't wait for them to really notice and worry about it. You just have to say, you know, I have something on my mind. Could we set a time today to talk about it? Because guess what? You're a team. You meet in the middle. All right? Some days one pushes and the other one pulls. And sometimes you change and do it vice versa. But if you don't talk to each other, if you don't stay united on the same page on a daily basis, you're going to get off track together. And if you don't get the feelings out on a daily basis, they're going to consume you. And these are not happy-filled thoughts. These are negative thoughts, okay, which will consume you. So I always say, keep your head full of happy thoughts, so when negativity knocks, it can't get in, right? So set a time and communicate, all right? Take time to be quiet and listen, like Connie said. You know, there's nothing wrong with going up to somebody, you know, I have, you know, with some of the people in my life, you know, the people that I work with and my friends on the outside, my children and grandchildren, if I know something's wrong, I'll just look them right in the face and say, talk to me. 3 words, talk to me. Because if I'm saying you talk to me, they know that I know that there's something going on that I need to know about, all right? So don't be too proud to keep quiet and because it's only going to make it worse. Particularly negative issues. Remember, if you don't have something nice coming out of your mouth, keep quiet.
Good thought.
Hmm? Is that from Bambi?
Bambi.
That was Bambi, yeah. I haven't seen that in
How many
years.
like Bambi?
Bambi with what Pete?
Godzilla's the big dinosaur-looking thing.
Uh-huh.
Bambi's floating around in the woods and Godzilla steps on it.
That's terrible.
That's not what.
It's a cartoon.
My daughter won't even eat lamb because she sees Bambi, you know? Is Bambi a lamb or a deer?
Dear.
Fawn.
Oh, Mary had a lamb, okay. So much for our cognition, right? Oh, yeah. So don't forget the positive affirmations. Don't forget, you know, the other thing too is the ability to talk. To me, is really a very wonderful thing because you can help people through what you say. You know, it's not so much what you say, but how you say it. And even if you need to get somebody back on track, or even if you have to do behavior modification for somebody else, you can do it in a very kind, respectful way. So my feeling is, you know, you want to speak in a quiet, respectful, dignified manner. The minute you raise your voice, you might as well hush because the conversation is over. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. The minute that you holler, how many of you are screamers? When you get really bad, man. Oh,
gosh.
not nice. The minute that you elevate your voice and speak in a loud, disruptive, disrespectful manner to another human being, they shut up. So you might as well, they shut down, so you might as well shut up. Do you hear? Conversation's over. All right? And my one-liner all the time is, I love you, but. If I come up to you and say, I love you, but, that means there's something big coming right behind you. Right? That's why I raise my kids, you know?
One T.
And I say, oh, okay, Mike, sit. I love you, but let's have a little conversation, a little chit chat here with Mama. All right? All right. So don't forget, you know, I love you, I appreciate you, I am so grateful to have you in my life. You look pretty, you know. You make everything better. That's what I want to hear. Because we're in the world to help each other to communicate positivity and hope and encouragement, right?
Right.
We're not in here to mouth off and make people feel terrible. But there's a fine line. If there is something that's sending you off your little sense of peace and balance, then you need to sit down in a very dignified, nice tone and talk about it.
You know, before I got the disease, it's good faith human race. You know. I've had a lot of nice people in the world. Want to help them,
They're good people, right?
They're good people.
A lot of good people.
Every time I had stuff, trouble walking to them, helping them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You get a lot of attention. You know, and it's a very good point, a very good positive. The world is full of really very kind, loving, special people. You know, where you least expect them. You know, they'll help you. You know, you're getting on the ride first at Disney World.
I found so many people want to open the door for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just remarkable.
Yeah.
How kind people are.
Yeah.
I have that a lot of times.
Well, that's real nice. They're supposed to open the door for ladies anyway, aren't they?
Well,
Huh? Right?
How many times I had people stand and hold the door for me, you would take 10 minutes to ignore it. Stand and hold it, take that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. And you know, don't forget, you know, if you have freezing episodes or if you're very slow, you know, swiping your card at Publix or whatever, and people around you, you know, just don't be afraid to say, you know, I'm a little slower than you are. I have Parkinson's disease, and help them to realize what's going on. It's up to you to really educate the public and your community about what's going on with this disease. Because a lot of people, they don't know it. They don't understand it. So what's the nicest thing that you could say to somebody today?
I love it.
There you go. I love you too. All right? All right. Be very careful with your swallowing. I touched on this. Swallowing is the #1 emergency with Parkinson's patients. The top risk that you have is swallowing. Who can tell me why? You know the answer to this.
Choking.
You inhale it, yeah, that's a good word. You know, you have two pipes going down, or you have a pipe going down, they split. All right? One goes into your lungs. Your lungs is a sterile cavity. All right? It's sterile. It's never been touched. It's never been opened. All right? Food, beverage, everything is contaminated. All right? When you swallow, there's this little flap above your stomach, and your stomach is right here. It takes about 5 seconds for the food to get from here to your stomach. Did you know that?
No.
Everybody says, I have a pain in my stomach. And I'm like, it's up here. I have a tummy ache. Okay? So what happens is you swallow, all right? It's supposed to go into what? The flap comes up and it goes into your stomach, where it belongs. That's where food and beverage goes for digestion. If it goes into your lungs, what happens? And, all right, that's aspiration. All right, you can have it going into your lungs and never cough.
Yep.
Do you hear me with this one?
Yep.
Everybody thinks, oh, I'm choking. It's going down the wrong pipe.
So,
So if you're noting that you're having trouble, you know, pushing these, because it's the tongue that pushes it back, it's the swallowing mechanisms, it's all this that drives it down. If you're all of a sudden having trouble, all right, with whatever you're eating, all right, you need to bring that to your physician's attention immediately for a swallowing study. They're painless. Shows a picture of, if you swallow, where's it going? All right, if it's going into your lungs, it'll kill you. Aspiration, pneumonia, infection, and death.
you have 2 chances.
I don't want to scare you, but I want you to pay attention. Swallowing and falls, my 2 risk factors for you folks, right? So you pay attention, caregivers, you pay attention. Now lots of times along the way, you know, you have to give up a steak. You know, a little harder to swallow, right? So you can supplement with a nice piece of fish or chicken or whatever else you want. Or if you can't have the apple, all right, you can have poached apples or applesauce or whatever. Consume the good food, but modify the way it's prepared so that you're not putting yourself at risk. Even the chewing process becomes harder, all right? 1/3 of digestion occurs where?
In your
In the mouth. You didn't think I knew all this stuff, did you? I'm a wealth of knowledge somewhere, it just keeps popping up from my toes. You gotta chew. Even if you're hurried. Do not eat standing up. Do not eat in the car.
Do not eat large bites.
Do not eat big bites. Sit down, pay attention, and enjoy and eat your food. And realize I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have a adventure with my food. I'm going to be with people that I like, turn the TV off, the radio off, all this other kind of stuff, and eat. Got it? Chew, swallowing, be careful. Okay, did this help you? Take time to talk. Take time to say nice things. All right. And it's just the nicest way to bring people up and to keep people strong, the people in your life that you really love, okay? All right, good.